Well, hello, our friends. Welcome to Rock Art Week. Now, this is no ordinary rock that we are going to be creating today. This is a gemstone. I believe it is called a trillion. Tri, meaning three, like a triangle has three sides. So does this gemstone. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to draw the gemstone, and then I'll show you a really cool technique, a way of adding color using markers. And we're going to be creating this painted effect with our markers. So supplies you're going to need today are a pencil, a piece of paper. We're going to need some washable markers. Washable meaning they are water-based. They are not permanent. It's very important. This technique will only work with washable markers. So make sure that they say washable on them, or you can just double check them on your own. What you can do is like scribble a little bit and then take your brush and some water and see if the marker will bleed and spread when you add your water to it. So that's one way to check your markers, to see if they're washable, if they don't say right on the side. So yeah, pencil, paper, washable markers. I have 3 shades of green. I have a dark, a medium, and a light. You don't have to do the value range. You can do whatever colors you want. You can even just use one color. It's totally up to you. Or if you want to, you can color using your crayons or colored pencils, but I'll show you this marker technique first. Now, you're also going to need to make sure that you have a nice jar of water and a paintbrush for when we get to the coloring stage. So to draw this trillion gemstone, we're going to be creating a triangle shape on our paper. Now, I'm going to have my paper going horizontally this time, and I'm going to try to make my triangle, my trillion gemstone, fill the page. So I'm going to actually start with my outside triangle. I'm going to find the middle of my paper, and then I'm going to draw a diagonal line down. I'm going to draw another diagonal line down. They're about the same length, and then I'm going to connect them with a horizontal line. Next, I am going to draw I think what I'll do is, I'm going to draw a straight line down, but not all the way. Don't go to the middle. You're just going to go a little bit of ways down. Now, the key here is you are going to draw another line coming from this corner. And notice how this line, it's in the middle of these. It separates this top part of my triangle into 2 halves. We're going to try and do the same for all of these. So I'm going to draw another line, boop, right there. And then another diagonal line, boop, right there. So you see they kind of split each triangle point into 2 equal parts. Now, I am going to draw another triangle inside, but I'm going to have the tips touch these lines. So watch. Connect those lines with a diagonal. Connect those lines with a diagonal. And then, boom, right there. And there we have the basic trillion gemstone shape. It's pretty easy, right? Now the magic, coloring. So I'm going to start with my lightest color first. I am going to draw around the inside edge of this part of my gemstone. Now, what we're going to do is create a gemstone that looks 3-dimensional. So we're going to be having the light spot here, and these are going to be the dark sides. So imagine there is a sun right here. This is where our light is coming from. So the sun rays are hitting the gemstone first here. So this will be the brightest. And over here on this end, it's the darkest because the light touches that last, if at all. So this is going to be our light, medium, dark. Does that make sense? It should. Now, the fun. So you see, I only colored in the outside edges because the magic's going to happen now. You're going to need your brush and your water. You're going to dip your brush in your water, wipe the extra off on the rim, and then you're going to paint with the water up into your marker. Now, because this is a washable marker, when my brush touches it, it makes the color spread. And it's really super fun and easy. And when your brush gets dry and scratchy, go back into your water, dip, wipe, and then paint, paint, paint. If you need more color, just paint right into your marker line and pull that color where you want it. I think I need a little more water. There. And there's my lightest facet, my lightest side on my Trillion gemstone. Now, you'll notice I have a little washcloth just in case, because crazy stuff can happen with a water cup on your table. Now for the medium or the mid-tone, that's going to be this inner triangle right here. So I'm going to trace the inside edge. If you want a lot of color, you can do a double tracing line. But notice I'm going kind of slow and careful. And then I'm going to dip, wipe, and then paint, paint, paint. Going right into that marker line and bringing the color out. Dip and wipe, paint, paint, paint. It's a really fun way to add color quickly. If you don't have paints at home, but you have washable markers, well, guess what? You now know that you have paint because you can just use your markers. All right, and there's my beautiful mid-tone, the middle color. Now, dark, medium. Let me show you how I managed to do a dark corner that blended into a medium color. So I'm going to take my dark color, and I know that this is the furthest point from my light, so I'm going to go ahead and trace the inside, but I'm only going to go halfway. I'm going to do the same thing here. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to trace the inside edge, but I'm only going halfway. Then I'm going to cap my marker and I'm going to grab my middle color, my mid-tone value again. I'm going to finish it up with this. Tracing the inside edge of my Trillion. This is all wet, so that's why I'm turning my paper so I can get to it without getting my hand wet and without smudging anything that might still be wet and not dry. So there. So I've got my dark tone, my middle tone, dark tone, middle tone. I'm going to start with the bottom edge first. I'm going to dip and wipe. I'm going to start over here, and I am going to paint that inside line, bring in that color into the area that I want colored. I'm going to be a little careful when I'm right next to my other colors here. I'm going to dip and wipe, and then I'm going to go into my middle tone color over here. Paint, paint, paint. When it gets dry and scratchy, don't be afraid to go back and dip and wipe in your water cup again. And then the magic moment of blending. You kind of swoosh it together and boom, dark to middle tone. Now I'm going to turn my paper again so that it's easier to get to. I always end up splish splashing on my paper too. That's all right. So I'm going to again start with my dark. Bringing that color into the middle of that facet, the side of my gemstone. I need a little more water, so I'm dipping and wiping again. And now I'm going to wash it a little, wipe it, and go into my mid-tone now. Bring in that mid-tone color into my facet. And I'm going to work on blending that place where they meet. Boom! Check it out. It's a trillion gemstone with value brought to us by marker paint. So cool. I love it. I hope you guys have fun with this. Enjoy. You can also feel free to add some fun details to the background. Enjoy, have fun, and I'll see you later.